Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Sandy, and we're two tenderfoot tourists. Welcome to episode 66, the one about having fun in Hot Springs, Arkansas. This past weekend was my birthday, and Steve did something for me that he's never done before. He's taken me on trips before.
For your birthday.
Right. But he totally surprised me where we were going. I had no clue until we were basically almost there. It was a great time.
And this was a place that we had discussed in the past wanting to go. Am I right?
Right, but I really honestly hadn't researched it. I didn't know hardly anything about it. So It was really fun.
Right. And this particular location won out over several other different locations that I had in mind.
Part of that was because of the amount of time we had to be able to go. And we didn't want to lose a lot of time on travel.
Right. We had just a weekend getaway. So what we're going to discuss in this podcast is, for one, where we stayed. We're going to talk about the history that can be experienced while you're there, and then also the food, the affordability of food,
lots of food,
the people, the location, everything that you probably need to know if you ever decide, which we recommend. Hot Springs may be a good place for you to go and visit.
Yeah, and don't be misled. I mean, I really wondered if it wouldn't be real low key and a lot of older people there. It was a mix and match. There was lots of different age groups and different family types and
I was going to say, you can't really narrow it down to one age group.
And we did a lot of things, but we honestly were limited a little bit because it did rain.
Yeah.
But
Hurricane Michael sure did a number on us because all that rainwater.
That's what came across into a tropical storm. All I know is we had a great time.
We really did. So, where do you want to start? You want to start with the hotel?
Might as well start with the hotel since that's the first thing we really dealt with. It was really a totally new experience for us. The name of the hotel is the Waters Hotel. Isn't that?
Convenient. Hot Springs.
Waters.
That's like kind of.
It's right. Would you call that downtown?
It is definitely downtown.
I mean, perfect location.
It is. It really is. It's on Central Avenue, and it's right there on Bathhouse Row, which we'll discuss later what we're meaning by Bathhouse Row if you're not familiar with Hot Springs, Arkansas.
One thing I want to talk about really quick is the fact that we were dealing with a situation we had never dealt with before. We had valet parking.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm glad you brought that up. I was preparing my brain for that because it's like, wow, how does that work? You know, I mean, do I really want to trust someone with my car?
Right. And we just got a car. So I'm a little touchy. I mean, you're trying to park and I'm going, I don't think you're in the parking space because I'm so paranoid, So it's scary to just hand your keys to somebody, a stranger.
Stranger, yeah. As it turns out later, he doesn't become such a stranger.
Right. Justin, first of all, we're pretty sure practically lived there because we would go to bed and we'd go in at night and he was there. We'd get up in the morning and he'd go, hey, good morning. Good to see you. It's like, oh my gosh, do you go home?
Okay. So when we first got there, Justin wasn't there to greet us. It was Jason. He worked behind the counter. And
he's also the one you had spoken to on the phone about getting the extra night when we realized we could leave early.
Exactly. And whenever you talk to people at some hotels, sometimes they're very matter of fact. It's like 1 night, 2 night. Would you like a smoking, on-smoking? You know, they're just very monotone, robotic.
Right. No matter what they're talking to you about, it's just very business. It's get it done, get you out of here.
Exactly. Yeah. But the way that he had talked to us, or at least me, that is, on the phone, and then once we got to the hotel, he was very personable.
Really laid back.
Laid back.
Like he was just enjoying the moment of talking to us and getting us situated and helping us out. He was really proud of the room he gave us and how he had made it possible for us to be in that same room the whole time, even though we added it.
And the thing is, if you decide to stay here, and they'll probably tell you at the front counter, but because this place used to be an office building and it was built in 1913, so it's a pretty old building and they renovated it. And it still has all the unique flavors of a building that is built in 1913.
Right. They didn't get rid of everything and update everything. They kept the look. It's beautiful.
And one of the things that they did did still keep was above all the rooms. There's this frosted glass that
Right.
still has the original office numbers up above the door.
Right. It was really funny because he told us, he goes, okay, your room number is 202.
Right.
But don't look up at the glass for the number. Look on the door
Look
for
on
the
the
number.
door.
Otherwise, you're going to be lost.
But just as irony has it, it's like that just happens to be the same number on the glass as the door.
Yeah,
for
it just
ours.
happened to match. It was kind of funny.
And he goes, your room and like one other is the only one that actually does that. So, we didn't have that problem. He goes, but I have a lot of people. They say it's like, I can't find my room, you know? So,
My key doesn't work.
okay, so he led us to our room. Now, what do you think of the rooms that are at the Waters Hotel?
I thought it was really beautiful, honestly. It was really unique. First thing I thought of when I walked through the door is, wow, this looks like a place that Frank or Sammy or Bing or...
Yeah.
That's Amore.
Oh,
Dean.
Dean.
It looked like
Dino.
somewhere they would have all stayed. Very high ceiling room.
Yeah, it's got to be like it had to have been 20 by 15 at least.
I don't
right?
know what to call the area over there by the window. It's too big to be a window seat, but it was...
Okay, so
It's different.
It's hard to explain. I don't know what you'd call it either, but it's like it's plenty of room to stand or sit.
Yeah, you could get up there and it would be fine.
And along one side of the room is windows.
Yes. You gotta figure these were office windows because they're huge windows. They're tall windows.
Yeah.
Where when you think of like windows on a house or in a hotel room, you think of a smaller window than that. Even if it's big, it's not like these. These are really tall windows.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just, when we would open them up, the whole room was lit up like crazy because of all the sun coming in. It was gorgeous.
Right. And so our room like faced the street, Central Avenue, and
Right.
it faced the bathhouses. The decor in there was minimal as far as like wall hangings and stuff like that.
Right.
It had like two like paintings up against the wall. But I mean, there's plenty of outlets for you to plug it. That's one of the things that I find very
Frustrating. This does not have enough
frustrating,
outlets. Yeah, they had plenty there and everything worked when you tried to use it.
Yeah, that was a plus. Yeah.
The bed was comfortable.
The bed was I love the pillows.
They weren't bad.
Yeah.
They weren't bad at all. I usually take my own pillow for my head because I just tend to struggle with getting comfortable. I forgot it.
Yeah.
Once I had everything situated the correct way the second night, I slept really well. I didn't have much trouble at all. So the beds were pretty comfortable and the pillows were nice.
The combination between the ambiance basically of the room because of the historical nostalgia of it and also the decor and the nice calm tones that you had of the paint on the walls and stuff like that. That was just everything was just, had a nice flow to the room. You didn't feel like you were tripping over furniture.
Right.
All that stuff is just, I thought it was just prime location. And then accompanied with that with the staff, everybody there was just amazing.
The staff was incredible. Like we said, from the beginning, Jason was so helpful and so nice.
Right.
And then, of course, we met Justin the next morning.
Justin, yes.
Justin, again, is the valet that was working actually double shifts. We finally found out why we were seeing him constantly. Mm-hmm. There were people on vacation, so he was working double shifts. So he was working a lot of hours.
But the thing is you would never have known it unless...
you couldn't tell by looking at him.
He was so happy.
And it was so funny because we would stop and talk to him when we would walk by. And people go by and are honking horns at him and he's just putting the hand up smiling because he knows it's for him.
Yeah.
And then people walking past us on the other side on the sidewalk and they're waving and saying hi to him. I mean, I said, do you know everybody? He said, yeah, pretty much I do. And I believe him.
I do too.
But he was just a nice guy. I mean... smile all the time.
The thing is, and you and I discussed this, we wish we tipped him more.
Yeah, we didn't know how to.
Well, with that, and that's something that we were wanting to discuss also in this episode is how do you tip your valet?
Teach us so great ones. We had never had a valet before. We've never dealt where we needed to tip. Mm-hmm. And it really messed with our heads. We didn't know what to do. And it's not that we didn't tip them. We're just not sure if we did well.
Yeah, because we definitely want to show that we appreciated the work he was doing.
Absolutely.
And we also tipped Jason for the valeting that he did the night
right,
before.
And all the help.
The thing is just to camp real quick on what do you tip a valet. I did some research, and what people said, there is no real set amount. Not like when you sit down at a dinner and you say, well, you give 20% of whatever the meal cost is. On the most part, I mean, some people try to put a number on it, but overall, everybody says it's whatever you feel is worthy of the effort that person has done for you.
Well, and I want to add something that we did, and we tend to do this, and I'm glad we're like this. We tell them too.
Oh yeah.
We tell them how much they're appreciated. We tell them how great a time we had, and the fact that they affected that, because sometimes people just need to hear it.
I agree. It
doesn't replace the tip. I'm not at all suggesting that.
No.
But we're still learning, and we made sure that we told them, hey, we don't want you to doubt we appreciated you a lot.
So everybody out there who's listening, let us know if you've ever experienced this, and tell us what you do and how you tip a valet or anything like this. Let us know what you think is an appropriate amount and how you go about determining that.
Guide us. It was interesting too, because we didn't learn this till the last day. As we were leaving, we were talking to Justin, and we found out he actually writes songs.
Oh yeah.
He's a songwriter. And I am really, really pumped over that. I told him to send us some stuff, and I hope he does.
Justin, if you're listening, hey, just send us a couple at tenderfoottourist@gmail.com, and send us a little MP3. We will definitely listen to it.
It would be so exciting.
I would love to hear it. Now, like you mentioned before, the rain because of Hurricane Michael came pouring through, and that was not something we really anticipated or planned.
Well, we did pretty good Saturday. Saturday wasn't so bad. It was mainly a drizzle, and you and I were like, yeah, we don't care if we get wet. My hair got curlier and curlier by the moment, but it was kind of okay. It wasn't heavy, so we had a good time. But the next day, we knew it was going to be heavier because they were saying tropical storm, and we were trying to figure out where the nearest Walmart was, because we were going to go buy a big umbrella, because my daughter had borrowed mine and not put it back in our car.
Kids.
Well, that's what happens when you say, oh, honey, let me help you. I don't want you to get wet.
Yeah. But Mom, I don't care if you do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, so I walked up to the counter and I said, okay, where's the nearest Walmart? Or where's the nearest to me where I can get an umbrella? I was just asking, and the person behind the counter happened to be Taylor.
Right. We had just met him that day, hadn't it?
And he goes, oh, well, let me give you mine. The funny thing is on the tail end of him saying, yeah, I'll loan you mine, he said, if you don't mind it being Versace.
Yeah. No, okay. This is so funny.
I'm like, what?
This thing.
It was pretty flamboyant.
It looked very much like super stylish.
Yeah.
And it's more stylish than I carry, Taylor.
Yeah.
Just saying, man.
Just saying.
But no, we teased him a little bit about it. He was joking right around along with us.
I like how he put that little caveat. I was like, hey, it was free. And I'm like, okay. If it's free, I get you. I get it. You're not going to turn down something free. I mean, can't put a price on free.
Hey, and it was a good umbrella, and it helped us out so much.
So thank you, Taylor, if you're listening. We really appreciate you and what you've done for us, especially the sacrifice when we saw you earlier that day.
Oh, yeah.
Valeting. Can you say valeting a car?
Parking a car.
And having to walk.
Yeah.
To get
when
the
we
car.
brought it, we thought, okay, he works in here. It's not so bad. We don't mind borrowing it then, and if he goes home, oh, I hope he doesn't get too wet. That's how we were thinking. And we're walking back with his umbrella and we see him park a car and start jogging back to the hotel.
And we're like, take your umbrella back.
No.
Take it back.
And he just laughed and kept right on going, And in our defense, it wasn't a long ways from the parking spot. Honestly, it was fairly close, but it was terrible. We felt terrible.
Yeah, we did. So, the Waters Hotel, very little negative things you can say about it.
Everything that was negative was so easily dealt with.
It was.
It wasn't something that was a make or break. And when you got to keep in mind for us, we went on points.
Oh yeah.
So it was also one of those things where we're like, we don't care.
That is something else to be said about it. It's like, we showed up and I used, points in order to pay for it. What happened to that card? Oh, you have it out, don't you? No, you don't.
This?
Nope. The card they gave us, in the room. Anyway, it was the next day and they came and they cleaned our room. And,
oh yeah,
here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they left us a card in there with, by the way, a candy.
Yes, it was yummy.
And also a bottle of Mountain Valley
spring water.
And
over the days we stayed, we got a total of 3 of those bottles.
Yeah, they kept on adding them to our room. I'm like,
these are great.
Sweet. But yeah, they left us a card. It says the water staff, it says, as a Choice Privileges elite member, the Waters would like to personally thank you for choosing to stay with us during your visit to Hot Springs. And they didn't have to do that. I mean, I just think that is, they noticed that I'm a
Choice Privileges
member, and you know what? I mean, you're thinking, it's like if I was a part of a hotel and someone came in using their points, that's money that this person is taking up in this room, and I'm not getting it because that's a room being occupied by someone.
Right.
And I'd be irritated, and I would.
And I mean, honestly, you probably would be thinking, okay, I'm not going to go out of my way to do extra for these guys, even if they're really nice people. Because, I mean, I could be pouring my heart into this guy over here who spent $800 for the last few nights. But these guys treated us like we were important the whole time.
The whole time.
And
never felt like that we were being,
when we checked out, we felt like they were our friends.
Yeah.
Especially Justin.
I'm sorry to see you leave. It's like,
he kept calling you boss.
Yeah, boss. Don't call me boss. I don't like being called boss. That's too much responsibility. I can't handle that.
But no, they were great to us. I mean, I couldn't have asked to be treated better.
Okay, so they gave us our key cards, and they gave us a little pamphlet there, that comes with the cards and the room number and the Wi-Fi password. But they also gave us a little tiny slip of paper that goes in there. And I don't know if it still applies if you decide to go, you might want to check ahead. But they were offering 15% discount off a Quapaw Bath and Spas across the street. And now, if you're also wondering if they do a complimentary breakfast or anything like a Continental, they do not do a Continental. However, they do serve awesome coffee and these really nice muffins in the morning.
Right. And then they have the hot water and the hot tea sitting there.
Exactly.
And like honey and creamer and stuff like that.
And if you go to our Facebook page, I think it's our Facebook, check out. It's either our Twitter or Instagram or Facebook page. You'll see the area where Sandy and I were able to sit and enjoy the coffee and the tea and the muffins. You have this large window in the front in the Avenue restaurant, which happens to be a restaurant that is in the hotel called the Avenue. It's open to the public, but anyway, you can make use of it. You can eat your breakfast and you can look out the window and watch traffic. Because
there's like a low wooden counter that you set up at like a table. Mm-hmm. And it was beautiful. I mean, it was nice to be able to just watch out there, look at the buildings across the street. Mm-hmm. The traffic wasn't heavy yet, so it was kind of peaceful.
So we can't say enough about this hotel, and we want to personally say thank you so much for being so welcoming to us.
Absolutely.
We highly recommend your hotel. I mean, just the hotel in itself it's really, really good. And before we go anywhere else, I want to say location.
Oh my goodness. Okay, this is the first time we have ever stayed at a place that was in walking distance of almost every single thing we wanted to see. And we took advantage of it.
Oh, man.
I don't think we went to other bathrooms hardly at all. We would go up to our hotel room.
We go straight back to the hotel.
We're like, let's just go up there for a minute. We'll get a drink of water. One time we laid down, took a short nap, and then went right back at it again.
That's true.
It was extremely convenient. And like, for instance, you had your GoPro, and then we knew we were going somewhere where you didn't need the GoPro. Well, we just ran it upstairs real quick, went to the bathroom again, and out the door.
Exactly.
It was great.
Laid there on the bed or on the chair there in the room and watched a little bit of TV and then went back out again. I mean, we just kind of just relaxed, and whatever happened. The fact that it was location, it's just perfect location for anyone who's interested in seeing these, for instance, the really cool downtown architecture.
Okay, that's what caught me more than anything while I was there. You know that.
Oh, yeah, late 1800s, early 1900s architecture. I mean, it was just breathtaking.
They're doing a lot of restoring down there, and they've already done a lot of restoring. It's incredible. And I still saw buildings that I went, I wish they'd fix that when it's getting so old.
I know.
But they probably will, honestly. There are some that are just incredible.
Oh, just totally incredible. Like right across from our hotel, they were doing some restoration. I never found out what they were doing it for on the Hale House on the Bathhouse Row. But let's just mention a few of those buildings. We went to the Quapaw Bath and Spa. The Quapaw, I mean, it's been there forever and a day, and it's one of the only ones that's still providing the bath and spa in the Bathhouse Row.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I mean, you go in there and you could hear people getting their names called, and they get up and they go in for their spa treatment.
Yeah, because you walk right in. You got like 3 sections, right? And you got one on the far left at some like bath products and stuff. Hold on, I dropped the paper.
Okay, first of all, they had a little tiny cafe thing you could go in there and get something.
That was nice.
And we were getting a little heavier rain at the time, so we went ahead and went in there. I got me a fresh lemonade, and Steve got him a chocolate chip frappe.
Yeah.
And we just sat out on the porch and watched the rain, and it was really peaceful.
It was very relaxing. For one, I mean, it was so nice and cool because of the rain that was pushing through. It was very nice and cool. And I also posted a video that you can see where it was from our perspective at the Quapaw Bath and Spa, sitting on the porch enjoying that. And the prices for the spa, I don't know if I want to quote them on here because one, they could change, and two, they're way out of our price range.
That's what I was going to say about it. I wouldn't necessarily give their prices because, like you said, it could change tomorrow. So the prices are up there a bit.
Walk-ins are welcome. You can go in at any time. I guess, I mean, you can just set everything up in the front room. You can get your towels and all that other stuff. And then you walk around into this back room, and that's when the spa. Now, if you go into the cafeteria, you just want to see what we're talking about, go head over to the right to the doors where the cafeteria part is.
I wouldn't even call it a cafeteria. That sounds large.
Well, okay.
It's just a little.
What would you call it?
There's this little door, half door you go to, and you make your order.
Yeah,
and
it's a
one
window.
woman is back there, and she grabs out what you're going to get. And
there's
gives
tables,
it to you.
And there's a TV, and there's a couch for you to sit.
It's just like this little waiting area that happens to have food.
We'll go with all right. We'll just go with waiting area. But other people from the area, even the national park rangers, were going in and buying themselves food. And
yeah,
stuff
they were getting their lunch and stuff. You could tell.
So anyway, and if you want to sit there and you want to eat, that's cool. There's other people there that were not doing the spa treatment that were there, and they were enjoying the food and stuff. So that's the reason why I was thinking cafe. But anyway, so if you really want to see what this bathhouse looks like on the inside, just walk into the first doors right on the right, go around the corner, and you see another set of double doors. They were open the time that we went. And you see a giant pool, and you see like people in their towels and stuff like that. So, if you want to see that, I don't see anything wrong with it. No one tried to stop us.
No, you can go look. We could have walked in there, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure, too.
I just didn't feel right about it.
I didn't either. So that's the Quapaw. It's fully functioning. It's still a bathhouse and spa. Go online, check out the rates there. They do have a website.
If you've done it, please write us and tell us about your experience, because I would love to know more about it. We weren't financially able to try that. I won't lie. I would love to do that someday.
That's fun and all, but let's take a moment for our sponsors.
Sounds good.
Classic Rock Coffee Company is locally owned and started right here in Southwest Missouri.
Don't let the name fool you. You don't have to like rock and roll to enjoy Classic Rock Coffee Company. But it couldn't hurt. Regardless of your favorite pick-me-up, Classic Rock Coffee Company has got you covered. Traditional drinks, flavored drinks, protein shakes, hot teas, and smoothies. Are you hungry? They've got great coffee and a great menu. Yes, they serve food too. That even includes keto. There are so many drinks to choose from. What are our favorites? Well, for me, anything chai. My absolute favorite is the Cheesecake Chai Tea Frappe.
And mine is a toss-up between two frappes. The Mocha Coca and the Sweet Emotion made with chocolate and caramel are both off the hook. Classic Rock Coffee Company is located at 1230 U.S. Highway 60 in Republic, Missouri.
Let them know the Two Tenderfoot Tourists sent you and get a special discount.
Two Tenderfoot Tourists is sponsored by Escapade Design. Does your small business have a mobile-friendly website, or is it outdated?
Perhaps you're concerned that your website could be hacked.
Prepare to sleep well tonight.
Escapade Design is the perfect one-stop shop for building or renovation of any small business website.
The programmers use the latest in technology for the best security and usability.
And they'll work tirelessly to give you everything you want in a website.
Visit escapade.design for your website needs.
Need an example of their work?
Check out our new website, twotenderfoottourist.com.
Then go visit escapade.design and start your new adventure in business today. And now back to our show.
They have a list of different, let me just list off some of the names here of the different buildings here. The Lamar, the Buckstaff, the Ozark, the Quapaw, the Fordyce, the Maurice, the Hale, and the Superior. And the ones we're going to talk about right now, because these are the ones we visited, was the Quapaw.
Yep.
We went in there, we went in the Fordyce, and we went in the Superior.
Now, the Fordyce, was that the one where you got to sample stuff?
No, that was the Superior, the bathhouse.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Okay. Now this place was interesting. It used to be a bathhouse, but someone decided to renovate it and they turned it into a brewery. Now the cool thing about this is it's the only brewery ever found on a national park. It's the only one in the entire United States of America.
And of course you would find it.
And I wanted to go to it. Because, they brew everything from the hot springs water, the springs there.
They even made my root beer from it.
Yeah, exactly. Everything. And you got 18 different styles of beers that are available there. It's an historic bathhouse. It used to be. And they also serve ice cream there. And they serve food.
Yeah, we had chips and beer cheese.
Oh, that beer cheese. Oh,
I know,
my gosh.
I could have drank it out of the cup.
That was so good. I mean, it's like, oh, stop it. I decided I wanted to go there and try it out. I wanted to see because you know how I am, honey. You know how I am. I love the taste of a good beer.
Yeah, and you like to try new things.
Bingo.
And you don't like to spend full-size beer prices to find out you don't like something.
Exactly, and that's kind of what they were offering there. They had the thing called beer tasting flights, okay? And you can pick 4 beers out of their drafts, right? And you can sample them all. They're little 4-ounce cups.
Or you could do all 18 beers they have on tap for $30.
That's called the beer bath. Literally, that's what it's called, the beer bath. And
Steve wanted to be able to walk down the street when we left.
I did. Well, the tragic thing is I would not like everything that they had there.
Well, and it would be different if I liked beer. I'm not a beer person. I'd rather have something like a mixed drink or something. So I wasn't going to taste all those with you.
Okay, but you did try one though.
I did.
You actually liked it, didn't you?
I tasted a couple of them.
Yeah.
You had me taste. What was the one I liked? The Madden?
The Madden #1, which is an interesting story. Also, you actually like the Governor Le Petomane as well.
Yeah.
Which it really cracked me up. Because, if anybody's out there, if you've ever seen the movie Blazing Saddles, you know exactly of which I'm talking about. Yeah, they had one there. It was an IPA. It was called the Governor...
Harumph.
Governor Le Petomane, which was not too bad. It was pretty good. They also had this one called the Madden's #1. And the Madden #1, it's named after Oni the Killer Madden. He was a gangster from New York. He was, I believe, Irish or Scottish. I can't remember which one. But anyway, he was a big component of the speakeasies of the Prohibition. And they named it the Madden's #1. That was a really good beer. It was not like harsh at all. It went down nice and smooth. The one that really got me and shocked me, it was called the Bee's Knees.
But the point was, you had bought those 4 beers.
The 4 beers, right? And I finally ended up with one draft all by itself.
Right, you just decided, nope, not for me.
No, this one is the one because I sampled it. I walked up to the brewer.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah.
I walked up to him. I said, listen, I liked everything I have here. But I need something else. I'm just looking for something different, and he showed me this one that really freaked me out. It said this beer in particular is infused with locally grown basil and Arkansas honey.
It was very unique. I tasted it too, and it was really interesting.
It was surprisingly smooth on the tongue. I expected it to be really harsh with the basil because it's a little basily.
And it was. It almost had a perfumey feel to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it wasn't like, oh no, perfumey. It was different. I can't even explain it.
It was, I can't explain it either. It was just really, really good. And so what at the end, you can, I said, can I have a can, a pack of it to go? No, unfortunately they only have 2, and that's not one of them. Oh, I could take a growler with me, which is a 32-ounce thing, and it's like once I open it. We didn't
think that was a good idea.
No, I'm not going to drink that much.
And you couldn't drive home with it with an open container in your car, so it would have been out in the trash.
Yeah, so it would have been beer wasted. Good beer, mind you. Superior Bathhouse Brewery is really, really good beer. Highly recommend anyone who's looking for some really good beer, and some historical nostalgia and all that stuff just surrounding you totally. That's a really good place to go. I mean, it's really good beer.
It was also just good environment and everything. I enjoyed it. And there were quite a few people there.
Yeah, there was quite a few people there.
It was really easygoing atmosphere.
Yeah. We visited the Quapaw. We visited the Superior Bathhouse, right, brewery. And then we also visited the
Fordyce Bathhouse.
Fordyce Bathhouse.
And it was really cool because that's where we were actually able to go on a real tour that told us the history of the bathhouses.
Right. And the thing about this bathhouse, this building, it's got a French/Spanish architecture, and you can really see it from the exterior, really can. You can see the French side and also the Spanish. It was open in 1915 and it had, serviced. Can you say serviced? I don't know. Anyway, it had seen millions of people. Millions and millions of people had entered that between that and the time it closed in 1962. It closed its doors in 1962 due to decline. Then it reopened again and it was in disrepair and they repaired it and it reopened in 89. So as a place for you to do a tour.
Right. During its heyday, would you say he's a ranger? Since it was National Park.
Yeah, he's National Park Ranger.
The gentleman that was giving us the tour, he talked about it and it was really interesting. He talked about the fact that most people that came there actually got a prescription across the street at the doctor's office.
Yeah. In fact, we were walking down that street and there was a couple of places where you walk down and you can see where an old doctor's sign was like painted on the inside of the doorway, things like that. And you're going like, wow. Yeah.
The whole building setup was really fascinating because there was a women's side
and a men's side.
Nowadays it kind of flips on how the appearance of the men's versus the women's is. When you go into bathrooms at nice places, men's, they're like, it's clean. It does what it's got to do.
I'm in, I'm out.
I'm in and I'm out. You go into a women's really fancy, nice bathroom and there's couches and there's flowers.
Well, it's because women, that's where they do all their gabbing.
But at Fordyce, the way that it was set up was the women's, locker room, I guess is the only way I know to put it, was very plain.
Yeah, you know what? That is something to be said. Cause I mean, this was back in the turn of the century. They had like smaller spaces.
Yep.
Meager in the way of things amenities that the woman would have compared to the man.
Right.
It's exactly what you said. It's like flipped.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. I don't know. It was interesting.
It is interesting.
Because, to go into the men's area, first of all, it was probably twice as big. Mm-hmm. It was huge.
If not.
And there's all these benches sitting down. There's a statue in the middle. Was it a fountain?
Yeah, it was an actual fountain. It had a squaw woman and DeSoto.
Right. And
he was receiving she was offering him some water.
Right. It was a really cool sculpture, actually.
It was very nice. And it was all underneath in the bathroom or whatever what it was. I don't know what that was. Anyway.
Men's area. That's
the men's
all I could
area,
think
let's
to
just
call
say
it.
that. And he had this nice stained glass roof that was gorgeous.
Stained glass area. A huge stained glass area above them. They had stained glass windows in some other parts too. It's just very, very pretty.
So I was going to say, just think that if you go and the visit is free. Okay, you can do your own self-guided tour, or
do what we did, which took approximately 30 to 40 minutes.
Right.
I would recommend that because there were things we saw that we would have been guessing on what they were.
And the information he gave us was so crucial to understanding the lifestyle and the way they thought of medicine back in the turn of the century.
What was it that he talked about them doing mercury.
Yeah, sit baths.
Sitz baths in mercury.
Yeah, which caused a lot of the doctors end up having Mad Hatter's disease.
Right.
They couldn't figure out why.
It was interesting because he talked about the fact that it wasn't necessarily the patients that were getting sick and they noticed what was going on. It was the doctors who applied this.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy some of the things they used to do. And there was a little bit of electroshock therapy involved.
Yeah, and
I did not expect that.
The tour guide said this, like, well, he's kind of they kind of had it figured out. They had it monitored, and it was actually somewhat helpful. I'm thinking, I don't know.
Agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. But I mean, you have this box on the wall, and then you have these like bare wire, copper wires that went down into the water of the bathtub.
Yeah.
And that's how they gave you the shock while you were like, no, I've been told about electricity and water in the bathtub. I've been told that is bad.
Yes. Don't
do that.
Don't get the wires or the plugs near the water.
Right.
We've all heard this.
Yes. So, but yeah, it was kind of fascinating how they treated people. And then the cool thing about it, this place is not only do you get to see what the life was like and how they treated their patients and stuff and everything like that, but also you got to see a lifestyle on the, was it at the third floor? Was it on the third floor? The lifestyle? Because I mean,
or was it the second? I can't remember.
You know what anyway, on the top floor, they had like a waiting area and lounge area where the women
they had a billiard table in the men's section.
Yeah.
And I mean, and this was a fancy looking place.
It had a
women's section. They had a piano.
Yeah.
And they
even had cards. Women were playing cards.
They had a room. Yes. They had a room for that was a salon.
Yeah.
They had all kinds of really neat stuff. You're just sitting there going,
yeah.
whoa,
yeah.
This is fancy stuff.
Yeah, it's really weird. And I was reading some of the little cards there, and apparently they actually have people come up there and perform and sing from time to time. And the man who built and owned this building, I can't remember what his name, Mr. Fordyce. Mr. Fordyce. What was his name? I apologize. I thought I was better prepared than this. Anyway, he actually had collected a whole bunch of Indian artifacts and stuff like that, and he had these curio cabinets that displayed them upstairs. It was without a doubt, I mean, because you used to see old photos and stuff of the way it looked back then and the way they had it situated now. Unfortunately, you couldn't go in there and just walk around and sit on the furniture. They had it barricaded in that room with some plexiglass. So, anyway, it was a beautiful room. It was really absolutely gorgeous. The stained glass roof or ceiling in that room. Yeah,
they had like large rectangular panels of stained glass all throughout that hall that the room was involved in. I can't even explain it.
Yeah.
But I tried to step back and get a picture of all of it. There just wasn't enough space to be able to do it.
Right.
And I mean, it was just beautiful.
Mr. Fordyce.
Oh, honey.
I am so broken. What really made our heads like spin is when they had like an elevator that was of that period that they used there.
It was so cool. We rode in it.
Yeah, definitely rode in it. It's something you really have to, just describing it right now really does not do it justice. The elevator was fascinating. It functioned perfectly fine. I can't get over the place. The history, a lot of baseball players, gangsters, movie actors, all these people used to visit that place, and they used to go through all the rigmarole as far as like what they considered as a medical treatment. Fordyce bathhouse actually provided.
Right. I mean, the gentleman that was giving us our tour even talked about the fact that some of the prescriptions were for these people to go and do these treatments like several times a day. Mm-hmm. And it took hours to do the treatments.
Yeah.
So basically they would just back to back be doing all these treatments.
Well, he showed us those boxes where one boxes, they had the light bulbs in it. It's like a sweat box, I guess.
That was...
What'd they call it?
They called it the sun box.
The sun box. And they said it can range anywhere between 180
to 200 something.
200 degrees in there for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's the max they allow you to do it.
And then you go to another box and you sit on a block of ice.
Yeah. And then there was the sweat boxes too.
Yeah, and then there's sweat boxes.
And then steam rooms.
Steam rooms. Oh, and they had the needle showers.
Yeah.
That
where
was
the
crazy.
shower heads were all around your body. And it was
little needle point pressure water. Yeah.
Right. It was rough looking stuff. And there are other things that we will not even talk about. It's way too intrusive.
I'm going to allow you guys just to simply use your imagination.
They use water for a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. Stuff that I don't care to mention. This is a family. This is a family
and
podcast.
We don't want anybody having nightmares either.
Oh my goodness. So go and check that place out. You know, it is really it's educational. Hey, you know what? If you're homeschooled, this is perfect.
Hey, you get credit on these. It's history,
Total
baby.
credit.
It's history.
I think that we're gonna have to continue to a next episode.
That's a good problem to have.
That is a good problem.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about food, and we haven't talked about some of the other sites that weren't right down there on the main strip either.
That's true. We for one, did anybody know you could get really good seafood in Hot Springs? That's one.
We've always wondered about that because I have a coast or a Gulf issue. I only eat seafood when I go to the Gulf, and so when I eat it inland, I'm skeptical always.
Now, and the other thing is if you listen to the second half of this 2-part series, because I don't think it'll go to a third, but the second half, if you listen to the next episode, you're going to hear about the Gangsters.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna hear about some of the places that we were as far as food and how much we paid and what kind of food you should be expecting.
Yeah, we really need a budget.
How about German food? We can talk about that.
Trying new things. That's our thing.
Trying new things. So, with that being said, I think we should probably stop here.
You're probably right. And next time we'll talk about how you're trying to achieve your goal of getting fatter.
Yeah, which I think I have in spades. I mean, I really know how to do that. I left that place going like, okay, I need a new wardrobe because I can't fit my button together that holds my pants together very well. I have to it's getting colder outside. I have to put thermals on, and that's too many layers.
And they won't fit under your jeans.
They won't fit under my jeans. That's going to be awkward when I wear them on the outside of my jeans.
Okay, I think that's more information than
I'm going to wear them on the outside of my jeans.
You look very nice.
Thank you.
Okay. Wow, that was a really good episode.
Shut up. Okay, man, there's so many things that we still need to talk about. We didn't even talk about the trails. We didn't talk about nothing. We didn't talk about the campsites.
We didn't even talk about the steam.
No, we never talked about the
areas where people
steams.
could just go fill up water
We didn't
bottles.
even talk about the Arlington Hotel.
That's true.
We never even talked about that.
We've got a lot to squeeze in.
Yeah, we got a lot to squeeze in the second episode. I think we can do it, though. I think we can.
Well, for right now, we're going to wrap this one up. The one about having fun in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun, didn't we?
We did.
We did.
I got exercise and gained weight.
That doesn't seem right, though, but it's true. We both did. But the food was so good, so let's talk about that in the next episode. And listen, if anybody would like to contact us, you contact us at tenderfoottourist@gmail.com. We also have a website. If you'd like to go and visit that, you can download our podcast there or listen to it right online. You can also check out our videos. We do have a YouTube channel. Go run over there and click like on all those videos and hit the notification bell so that every time we post something new, you'll be notified immediately and you can enjoy us there as well. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you know what? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on iTunes and all Android directories out there. I mean, just
And we'd love to hear your reviews.
Totally would love to hear your reviews. And if you comment on it, you know what? We may read your review on our podcast. You know, so we met so many great people.
We did. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited to talk about them.
And we haven't even told
one.
about the rest of them.
I know. I can't wait to get to the next episode. So, I'm Steve.
And I'm Sandy.
Until next time.
Stay tuned.